What's up, YouTube? Today we're working on the 99 RMK 700 again. This is a $300 sled. If you haven't seen the first video, go check it out. So making a little bit of progress. I got the magneto pulled off. It's kind of a miracle this thing even fucking ran. That's so gross. That's all material from the water pump eating itself alive. So yeah, got a new water pump here, but I need to finish pulling the stator and then 4 bolts. That thing will pop right out, and then we'll get this thing sealed up with a little bit of Yama Bond right around this mating surface here where it meets up to the crankcases, and we'll get this slap back on. Sweet, half the battle's down. Got the old coolant pump removed. Yeah, we'll go ahead and slide the stator out. Slide stator into this one, get this all cleaned up, and reseal it. Take a little 2-stroke, lube up the inside of the seal, slide her back in place, start putting this thing back together. Whoo-wee! Got that new water pump installed. Hell yeah. So I just got off the phone with one of my buddies who just sold, he's been selling sleds a lot lately, and he had the same sled. Wasn't long track though, still 136. Says he sold it, or he posted it for 2,500. Same day, sold it for 26. Somebody offered him $100 extra to hold it for like a couple hours or something. Like, that's insane. I'm not sure. I don't think I'll get that out of this one, but if I can get close to $2,000, like, that'd be the shit. So I'm gonna try to jam this out, get it all fixed up, and see how it runs. That's all we can do. Okay, that's all back together. Threw a new belt on it. Should probably just go ahead and throw this fucker in the garbage. But I'm gonna go ahead and throw the recoil on, oil pump, top this thing off coolant, get the electronics plugged back in, throw the exhaust back on, and I think we'll be good to try to fire this up again. Hell yeah. Okay, oil pump, recoil, all that's back on. I just loosened this here, making sure we got good prime to the oil pump. Looks like we do. Go ahead and tighten that back up. Whew. Gonna plug some of this shit in. Before the exhaust goes in, I'm going to check my chain case fluid, and we're gonna go from there. Okay, we got this thing all back together. Put a bunch of coolant in it. Crack that open so it'll bleed most of it out. Not all of it. I'm sure there's still some air in the system. All coolant lines are hooked up. I have my oil pump zip tied wide fucking open. I put some not pre-mixed, but I dumped oil directly into the tank, so it's gonna be pre-mixed. I think we're ready to fire this thing up. I do believe so. I don't know what's going on, but we're leaking a lot. So, probably gonna want to figure that out. Yeah. It's not good. Not good at all. And something smoking from there. Should probably look into that. Okay guys, I figured out why this thing ate a stator and a magneto. That's the smoke coming out of the housing. That's because this is, okay, I'm gonna start off. I hate doing this shit with the motor in the fucking chassis, and this is why. I bolted this water pump housing on. All looks fine, right? Looks great. No. This is actually off an edge. They're slightly different. They have a bump on the bottom that you have to take off, apparently, because it's running into the engine plate. In other words, this pump housing isn't sitting flush against the crankcases, which means massive air leak. If I would have kept running it, if those didn't run into each other, by those I mean that and the magneto, this would have been sucking air because it's not sealed. Basically, air can go between these two through the crank bearing into it, get extra air. It would have burned itself down. So, kind of lucky. Downside is I have to make a big coolant mess, pull this housing off. I got to cut a bunch of shit off it so it quits hitting the goddamn engine plate. And then it'll bolt on, it'll sit flush, it'll actually seal, and then this will be sitting in the correct place in relationship to the crank. It'll no longer hit a magneto, and life will be good again. Because I didn't use the magneto I pulled out, so that's the original one from the sled. I had another one that I used. You can see where it was rubbing. Yeah, it really caught here. So, another headache. I'm gonna go ahead and tear that coolant pump back off after I had everything buttoned up the first time. But with the motor sitting on the bench, that would have been something I could have easily seen. But instead, I had to like turn a light on, and I'm looking up through here like this. Yeah, it's just kind of a mess. But anyways, I was able to figure it out because at the top, it looks sealed. But you can't see through there good enough, so I had to look through the front with the flashlight. Sure shit, I can see the threads from these lower bolts, which is what tells me, well, yeah, it's fucked, dude. She's not sitting flat. I'm never pulling all this shit apart with the motor in the chassis again, because this fucking sucks. Okay, now that I have the water pump off, you can actually see right where the water pump is hitting the engine plate. So, time to do a little grinding. Okay, so we have notched this so it will clear the engine straps now. And throwing another stator in it. This one looks really nice anyways. So, yeah. Gonna go ahead and not reuse, I don't even know what this one's from, wherever the smashed up stator is. I might have already thrown it away, I have no idea, but this one's really nice, so we're gonna throw it in this sled and start getting this thing thrown back together again. Sorry guys, I have not been videoing a lot. I already replaced the stator, the magneto, modified the case or the coolant pump housing so it sits flush against the fucking crankcases. No longer runs into the motor mount plate. I gotta finish bolting up the recoil, bolt my oil pump up on this thing, put an exhaust back on it, spark plugs, and we'll be ready to fire this up again. Getting there. Progress. Progress.
I don't like the LED. Sounds good. Hell yeah. Well, I got her up on a jack, trying to bleed the coolant system out. Sounds really good. Might have gone a little excessive with the premix, but whatever. At least I know she's lubed up after being run dry. Well, boys, I can't find my GoPro mount, but it's up and running strong. I'm gonna try to one-hand this with my phone and ride with my, yeah.
Well, as you guys seen, she's ripping. Running actually, it's probably the best running sled that's came out of my garage so far this year. The edge needs work. I don't know about the XC700. I only rode it up down the street once. I'm not sure why I didn't ride it anymore. Probably because I don't have a gauge or headlight or nothing. But yeah, fuck, this thing runs tits. Looks okay. I didn't clean it up too much. I'm not trying to make massive amounts on this thing. So I was telling myself, I want $1,500 for it. I mean, I had to pay for it, spend my time fixing it, which really wasn't too much. I might have 6 hours into it total over the course of a couple days, working on it when I can. And but used water pump, some head gaskets I had, stator and a magneto. But all in cash wise, I'm only out $300 so far. If I can get $500 or $1,500, I'm gonna be really happy. Oh, Loki, Loki, what are you doing? What are you doing? Who's a good boy? Oh, you're peeing. Well, while he pees, well, look at these other two. Bellrain, Aspen. Good doggos. Who's a good doggos? Little puppy makes me so happy, man. He's cute as shit. Here comes Bellrain, ready to attack. Get him. Get him. No? Okay. Anyways, I got a guy coming out to look at this tonight. $1,500 right now is actually a pretty good deal. Like I was saying, my buddy just sold the same fucking thing, but with the 136 still for $2,600. And I've not seen a sled like this on Marketplace or anything for under $2,000 recently. I initially posted for $2,250, just why not? I dropped the price to $1,750, so it shows that the price went down, so people think they're getting a great deal. And then they try to talk me down, $1,500. Yeah, I'll take 15. Come get this thing. But I know a lot of people were saying to keep it. I have absolutely no reason to have a 144 sled. I don't ride the mountains. Used to, but all my friends started getting older, having kids, getting married. They just don't do it anymore. So, oh, check this fucking thing out. This bitch is mint. Hell yeah. Oh. Whoop. Anyways, now we're getting back time to work on some other stuff. This thing needs a bunch of work. This thing needs a bunch of work. That thing, I need to go through the carburetors on this and look through the rear suspension. Something's a little goofy. I think it's something in the mounting on this side. I don't know, maybe not. I think something's goofy. I gotta clean up out here. This sled, I got a bunch of work to do to it. Almost thought about selling this, but I don't know. I just don't think I can bring myself to do it. But the prices are really good right now. But it's hard to replace the 98 XC700. But anyways, stay tuned. And I guess you guys will see what gets pulled in the garage next. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the RMK is already sold. Made a decent little profit. And really can't complain for just spending a couple days messing around in the garage on and off. So it's gone. Sorry to all the people that said I should keep it, but it is what it is.